Okay, ready to make our movie? So you got actors, a director, cameras. Are we forgetting something? A script? Nah, don't bother. We'll be fine. Horror icon Samara Weaving, and she really is an icon at this stage. Incredible modern day scream queen. She's great. She's in a film which manages to be a scary thriller, post-apocalyptic, religious and culty kind of mean the same thing, and it manages to feel like it's an Outlast game brought into actual film format. And to top it all off, nobody talks. Azrael is a film and the name of the main character, but how do we know that? It said her name is Azrael on IMDb. So, there was an apocalyptic event believed by some to be the Rapture, so they, being left behind, mostly formed into this cult, which I'll cut out their vocal cords so they can't speak, because speaking is a sin. They still can, like, whistle and stuff, because nobody's ever sinned by whistling. But, you know, it doesn't matter. Cults. Crazy. So, this lady, she escapes with her partner from the cult. Her partner and her get caught. Partner doesn't go well for him, and she decides it's time to take crazy revenge on all of them. So it's every Samara Weaving film. Feminine rage is her forte, and I love it. So once they're caught the initial time, right at the beginning of the film, they're brought back and they're going to be sacrificed to the blood gods, or just blackened, charred looking like zombie creatures. Pretty much, like, you could call them like a bunch of different things depending on what kind of weird religion you got going on there, but it's fine. So she bites, claws, scratches, rages her way through just the entire film. Like, it is fairly constant and full on. It's a short film, it doesn't need to be any longer than it is, and it really does feel like a video game. They could easily make this into a really great horror video game. The plot does not make a ton of sense. That's one of the reasons I feel like it's kind of like a video game. A lot of horror video games, like when you actually look at just the plot on its own, you're like, God, is that really what happened? I enjoyed playing it, but this is mental. And it feels the same, except that I'm just enjoying watching it and feeling just along for the ride. It really is a roller coaster. It just is constant, and it's great. I cannot dislike it, even though when I actually, like, if you read like a synopsis of it instead of just watching it, you're like, wow, that is garbage. This film to me is such a cool idea. The ominous religious warnings that just pop up, written looking like they're in blood on the screen at times. The mute cultists that are just terrifying, and then the black and charred zombie things that are even more terrifying, can smell blood from miles away. And Samara Weaving just dropping a banger of a performance in the middle of it all. Like, she is incredible, and she's such a good action star as well. I don't know why she's never been like picked up more outside of the horror genre, because as just an action star, I think she'd be incredible. She looks perfect in all of these. She really does have great eyebrows for being in a post-apocalyptic world without makeup artists or basically any mirrors that we see, but that's fine. She is the female post-apocalyptic John Wick of your dreams. I feel like you should try it out for yourself, watch it, give it a go. I can compare it to, like, In a Violent Nature, the horror movie which came out last year, which is from the slasher killer's perspective. Because I didn't get a lot out of that. I could see maybe why people would, but it didn't do lots for me as this unique horror concept. But it is a fascinating idea all the same. And it's a very interesting idea. I think it worked out better than that one, frankly, personally. Samara Weaving is just incredible in the middle of it all. And I think it's just... It's got something a little bit special. That it's a very Shudder style type of thing. I don't know if this was actually made by Shudder, but it's in their wheelhouse of, this is kind of a nutty idea, pretty unique in the horror genre. Does it work? You decide. And frankly, for me, yes. So I'm giving Samara Weaving's Feminine Rage Volume 80 3 stars. I feel like somebody should have turned a Samara Weaving horror franchise into like something with like 10 entries by now, really gone overboard on it, because she's just so watchable doing this sort of building rage in a final girl kind of thing, and it's so incredibly watchable no matter how many times we see it in different films. So I feel like she should just be the lead of a flagship horror franchise by now, and for some reason she's not. Snag her up quickly. Subscribe for more hard truths.